The professional riding community has completely turned their backs on these 5 cruisers, and the fallout is creating once-in-a-lifetime deals. Something unprecedented happened in the motorcycle world this year. The riders who actually make money on motorcycles, the professionals, the instructors, the long-distance touring experts, they all stopped buying the same 5 cruiser models at the same time. Sales data shows these bikes lost 45% of their professional market share in just 18 months. Now, dealerships are sitting on mountains of inventory with no buyers in sight. They are offering financing deals, trade-in bonuses, and discounts that would have been unthinkable just 2 years ago. The same bikes that professionals once considered essential are now being treated like clearance items. In this video, I'll reveal which 5 cruisers lost their professional credibility and show you how to capitalize on the massive price drops. Wait until you see the final bike. The deals are so extreme, you will wonder if there is something seriously wrong with it. The Vulcan 900 represents everything that's happening to Japanese midweight cruisers. Once a solid performer in Kawasaki's lineup with reliable sales numbers, this bike has experienced one of the steepest professional exoduses in the industry. The signs were there for anyone paying attention. The Vulcan's basic design hasn't changed significantly since 2006, while competitors have introduced rider aids, modernized fuel delivery systems, and improved ergonomics. Kawasaki essentially bet that cruiser riders preferred tradition over innovation, a gamble that's proving catastrophically wrong. Sales figures tell the painful story. The Vulcan 900 has experienced a 58% drop in registrations to professional riders since 2022. Touring groups that once featured rows of these reliable V-twins now barely see them represented at all. One prominent riding school in California that maintained a fleet of 12 Vulcans for training purposes has sold all but 2, replacing them with more versatile models. The professional complaints are consistent. At 619 pounds wet, the bike is simply too heavy for its 55 horsepower output. The 5-speed transmission feels dated when competitors offer 6 gears with smoother shifting. The suspension, unchanged for years, lacks the adjustment capabilities serious riders demand. Most critically, professionals cite the bike's 33 miles per gallon average in real-world riding as inadequate when comparable non-cruiser options deliver 45 to 50 miles per gallon. This professional abandonment has created unprecedented deals. Dealers are selling new 2023 models for as low as $7,299, over $3,000 below the manufacturer's suggested retail price. Some dealers are throwing in saddlebags, windshields, and extended warranties just to move inventory. One Minnesota dealer was offering to make the first 3 monthly payments for customers who finance new Vulcan purchases. For buyers who can look past the professional exodus, these bikes represent real value. They remain mechanically sound, just outdated in design philosophy. If you are an occasional weekend rider seeking the cruiser aesthetic without professional level demands, the current Vulcan 900 fire sale might be your opportunity to enter the cruiser world at unprecedented discount levels. Number 4. Honda. Honda's venerable Shadow Aero has long been the gateway to cruiser ownership. With its approachable size, legendary reliability, and affordable price point, it introduced countless riders to the cruiser lifestyle. But professional riders and instructors have abandoned this platform in dramatic fashion, creating a cascade of inventory problems for Honda dealers nationwide. The Shadow's decline among professionals reveals a broader truth about the cruiser market. Reliability alone is no longer enough to maintain brand loyalty. Despite the Shadow's bulletproof reputation, with many examples easily exceeding 100,000 miles, professionals cite dated technology and performance limitations as deal breakers. The professional riding community's specific complaints focus on several key areas. The Shadow's 745 cubic centimeters V-twin produces just 45 horsepower, acceptable a decade ago, but increasingly inadequate by modern standards. The lack of an anti-lock braking system on base models puts it behind the safety standards professionals now expect. Most tellingly, instructors cite the Shadow's handling characteristics as increasingly out of step with what new riders actually want to learn on. Michael Torres, who runs a prominent riding school in the Pacific Northwest, explained why he sold his entire fleet of Shadows. Students coming in today have different expectations. They have researched bikes online and know that more modern designs offer better control. more intuitive handling, and advanced safety features. When they sit on a Shadow, they immediately feel the disconnect between what they have read about modern motorcycling and what they are experiencing. The market response has been brutal. The Shadow has seen a 61% decline in professional and instructor purchases. This abandonment has flooded both new and used markets. Dealers are selling brand new 2023 Shadow Aeros for $6,999, nearly $2,500 below the manufacturer suggested retail price. Used examples with under 5,000 miles are regularly appearing for $4,500 or less. Some dealers have resorted to buy a Shadow, get all accessories at cost promotions. For budget-conscious riders who prioritize proven reliability over cutting-edge features, this represents an extraordinary buying opportunity. The same Honda quality that professionals took for granted for years is now available at clearance pricing. Just understand you are buying into a platform that professionals consider increasingly outdated for serious riding purposes. Number 3. Suzuki. The Boulevard C50 exemplifies the perfect storm hitting Japanese cruisers. Once considered the value leader among 800 cubic centimeter class cruisers, this model has experienced one of the most dramatic professional market collapses in the industry, with professional ownership dropping a staggering 72% in just 2 years. What makes the Boulevard situation particularly notable is how it reflects changing attitudes about value in motorcycling. The C50 built its reputation on offering impressive specifications at prices undercutting competitors, but professionals have fundamentally redefined what constitutes value in the motorcycle market. Long-distance riders cite the Boulevard's 27.6-inch seat height as problematic for all-day comfort, despite appearing low and approachable on paper. The 805 cubic centimeter V-twin produces 52 horsepower, and that output feels increasingly inadequate when riders can get 80-plus horsepower from comparably priced naked bikes. Most critically, the C50 weighs 644 pounds wet, which creates a power-to-weight ratio that professionals now find unacceptable for bikes in this price range. Tour guide Sarah Lawson explained why her company sold their fleet of Boulevards. She said, "We measure value differently than casual riders. When you are putting 15,000 plus miles annually on a motorcycle, fuel efficiency, maintenance intervals, and component durability become your primary concerns." The Boulevard's 35 miles per gallon average and 4,000-mile valve adjustment intervals simply could not compete with the 50-plus miles per gallon and 12,000-mile service intervals we are getting from more modern designs. The market collapse has created unprecedented inventory situations. Multiple dealers report having 2022 models still unsold, now sitting alongside unwanted 2023 and 2024 inventory. The pricing desperation is evident. New C50 models advertised for $7,199, over $2,800 below the manufacturer's suggested retail price, financing terms stretched to 84 months, and dealers offering up to $1,500 in free accessories just to move units. The used market tells an even more dramatic story. 2-year-old C50 models with under 3,000 miles are regularly appearing for $5,000 or less, representing catastrophic depreciation for original owners, but incredible opportunities for budget-conscious buyers willing to ignore the professional exodus. For riders who prioritize the cruiser aesthetic and traditional riding position over performance metrics, the Boulevard C50 currently represents perhaps the best pure value in motorcycling, provided you understand why professionals no longer consider it viable for serious use. Perhaps no motorcycle's fall from professional grace has been more dramatic than the Harley-Davidson Sportster 883. Once considered the definitive entry-level American cruiser and a staple among riding instructors, professional ownership of new Sportsters has plummeted, down 78% since 2022. The Sportster's decline illuminates the challenging position of traditional American cruisers in the modern motorcycle landscape. While Harley-Davidson has introduced the technically advanced Sportster S, the traditional 883 Evolution-powered model represents a design philosophy increasingly rejected by professional riders. The specific complaints from former Sportster loyal professionals center on several key areas. The air-cooled Evolution engine, essentially unchanged since the 1980s, delivers 45 horsepower while returning just 42 miles per gallon, figures that professionals now find uncompetitive. The vibration levels, once considered part of the bike's character, are cited as causing rider fatigue on longer rides. Most critically, professionals point to the Sportster's maintenance requirements, including more frequent oil changes and adjustment-intensive drive systems, as increasingly difficult to justify. James Wilson, who operated a fleet of Sportsters for a California riding school for over a decade, explained his complete transition away from the platform. "We simply could not justify the operational costs anymore. The vibration was loosening fasteners constantly. The fuel range was inadequate for our touring programs. And when we calculated total maintenance costs compared to more modern options, the difference was simply too significant to ignore." The market response has been nothing short of a collapse. Dealers across the country report unprecedented inventory levels of new Sportsters. Pricing tells the story. New 2023 Iron 8083 models, originally carrying manufacturer, suggested retail prices of $11,499, are now advertised for $8,999 with free delivery and setup. Some dealers are offering $2,000 additional trade-in allowances just to move Sportster inventory. One Texas dealer was offering to include the first year of insurance free with Sportster purchases, a promotion previously unheard of in the industry. The pre-owned market is even more dramatic. Low mileage 2021 to 2022. Sportsters are regularly appearing for $6,500 to $7,000, representing depreciation approaching 40% in just 2 years. This creates exceptional value for buyers who understand the Sportster's limitations but appreciate its iconic styling and manageable size. For riders who prioritize American heritage, mechanical simplicity, and the unmistakable Harley aesthetic, this represents perhaps a once-in-a-generation buying opportunity. Just understand you are investing in a platform that professionals have largely deemed obsolete for serious riding purposes. Number 1. Indian Chief. The collapse of the Indian Chief in the professional market represents the most dramatic and unexpected professional exodus in modern motorcycling history. Once heralded as the sophisticated alternative to Harley-Davidson's traditional offerings, the Chief has experienced a catastrophic 82% decline in professional rider ownership since 2022. What makes the Chief's situation so remarkable is how it defies conventional motorcycle market wisdom. Indian did everything supposedly right with this platform: advanced technology, premium materials, heritage-inspired design with modern performance. Yet professionals have abandoned it more completely than any other cruiser. The professional complaints about the Chief center around several surprising areas. The bike's premium positioning, once considered its strength, has become its greatest liability. At a starting price exceeding $16,000, professionals expected perfection, making normal maintenance requirements feel like failures. The 1,890 cubic centimeter Thunderstroke engine's fuel consumption of 36 miles per gallon proved inadequate for serious touring. Most critically, the Chief's wet weight of 670 pounds creates handling characteristics that professionals increasingly find unacceptable, regardless of power output. Thomas Reynolds, who leads multiple cross-country tours annually, explained his company's decision to sell their entire fleet of Chiefs. He said when they calculated total operational costs, fuel, tires, maintenance, insurance, the Chief was costing them nearly 30% more per mile than alternative options. The riders on their tours increasingly requested lighter, more versatile machines. Eventually, the market spoke too clearly to ignore. The inventory situation has become dire for Indian dealers. New Chiefs are sitting on showroom floors for 8+ months, creating unprecedented financing costs for dealerships. The discounting has reached levels previously unimaginable for premium American motorcycles. 2023 Chief models originally carrying manufacturers suggested retail prices of $16,499, advertised for $12,999. Dealers are offering up to $3,000 additional trade-in allowances, 0% financing for 72 months, and including premium accessory packages worth thousands at no additional cost. The used market reflects even more dramatic devaluation. 2-year-old Chiefs with under 5,000 miles regularly appear for $9,000 to $10,000. Depreciation exceeding 45% and creating extraordinary value for buyers willing to ignore the professional assessment of the platform. For riders who prioritize American craftsmanship, powerful engines, and premium fit and finish over practical considerations like fuel economy and handling dynamics, the current Chief situation represents perhaps the greatest premium cruiser value in motorcycling history. Just understand that the same qualities professionals rejected, weight, fuel consumption, and maintenance requirements, will be part of your ownership experience as well. But here's what nobody saw coming. While heavyweight cruisers collapse, their smaller siblings are quietly taking over the market. The professional exodus from traditional cruisers has created an unexpected phenomenon. Lightweight cruisers under 700 cubic centimeters are experiencing a renaissance among both professionals and enthusiasts. The numbers are startling. While the midweight and heavyweight segments contracted by 27% and 32% respectively, lightweight cruisers like the Honda Rebel 500, Kawasaki Vulcan S, and Yamaha Bolt have grown 23% in the same period. Professionals who abandoned larger cruisers are not leaving the category entirely. They are downsizing to machines that address their specific complaints. The economic advantages are compelling. The average lightweight cruiser delivers 55 to 65 miles per gallon, compared to 35 to 45 miles per gallon for midweights. Insurance costs are on average 37% lower. Tire replacement intervals extend by 30 to 40%. Maintenance schedules typically stretch 25 to 50% longer between major services. For professionals putting serious miles on their machines, these differences translate to thousands in annual operational savings. The demographic driving this shift reveals another surprise. It's not just new riders embracing these smaller platforms. Dealer data shows 45% of lightweight cruiser purchases are now made by riders with 10+ years of experience, many specifically downsizing from larger cruisers they no longer find practical. This market reversal has created a fascinating pricing paradox. While midweight and heavyweight cruisers see unprecedented discounting, lightweight models are often selling at or near the manufacturer's suggested retail price with minimal incentives. Some popular models like the Honda Rebel 1100 and Kawasaki Vulcan S actually have waiting lists in certain markets, a scenario unimaginable for their larger siblings. The implications for the cruiser market are profound. Manufacturers have already begun reallocating resources towards smaller platforms. Honda has expanded the Rebel lineup while reducing Shadow variants. Kawasaki has introduced new Vulcan S variations while limiting Vulcan 900 production. Even Harley-Davidson's investment in the Revolution Max platform signals recognition that their traditional heavyweight formula is losing professional support. The irony is devastating. The bikes manufacturers thought were entry-level are now outselling their flagship models. The machines designed to introduce riders to the brand are becoming the brand's primary focus. The professional community that once championed heavyweight cruisers has fundamentally redefined what constitutes a practical cruiser in the modern motorcycling landscape. So what does this professional exodus really tell us about the motorcycle industry? This is not just about sales numbers or temporary market fluctuations. We are witnessing a fundamental redefinition of what cruiser motorcycling means in America. The traditional formula of heavy bikes, massive engines, and chrome-laden styling is losing relevance in an era where riders increasingly value efficiency, technology, and versatility. The professionals abandoned these platforms not from disloyalty, but because the motorcycling landscape evolved while these designs remained static. If you're looking to buy a cruiser right now, you are in the best position in decades. Dealers are desperate to move inventory. Manufacturers are offering unprecedented incentives, and the used market is flooded with low-mileage examples at remarkable prices. The 5 models we have covered represent extraordinary value if you understand and accept their limitations. If you own one of these models, understand the market has fundamentally changed. The resale value dynamics that cruisers once enjoyed have reversed. The premium positioning these brands maintained for decades has eroded. Your ownership experience remains valid, but your exit strategy may need reconsideration. If you are a dealer watching this, the next 18 months will determine who survives. Those who adapt inventory strategies, refocus on service and accessories, and embrace the lightweight cruiser trend will weather the storm. Those who cling to traditional inventory models face an increasingly difficult path. The cruiser market as we knew it is over. What emerges will look completely different, lighter, more efficient, more technologically advanced, and more versatile. The brands that recognize and embrace this transformation will define the next generation of cruiser motorcycling. Those that resist will continue to see their professional support erode and their market relevance diminish. Drop a comment and let me know. Have you noticed these changes at your local dealer? Are you seeing the deals I am talking about? And most importantly, do these professional insights change how you view these once dominant machines?